Thank you everybody for attending this webinar today. My name is Vikram and I work for GL Communications. We have a very exciting topic to talk to you about today. It's our voice quality testing solution, our most portable solution yet, which is called vMobile. I'm joined on this webinar by our Director of Engineering, Rob Bishevsky. So let's go ahead and get started. The topic today is voice quality testing using our ultra portable handheld device vMobile. Before we dive into this subject, let's just give a quick overview. I think many of you are already familiar with GL Communications, but if you're not, we are located in Gaithersburg, Maryland, United States. We were founded in 1986, so we've been around for over 30 years, and this whole time we've been doing telecommunications consulting services, and we've also been manufacturing telecommunications test and measurement equipment. We manufacture equipment to test all telecom networks. I'm not kidding when I say that. We can test pretty much any telecom network you can think of, whether it's the legacy landline telephone network, whether it's land mobile radio, whether it's cellular networks, whether it's Ethernet networks, SONET or other fiber optic networks, T1, E1 networks. We have test equipment that can interface to all of these different networks and perform a wide range of tests and analysis. We can analyze the traffic, we can analyze all the protocols traversing these networks. We can do packet captures and monitor all the traffic in real time, provide alerts, visualization. We can capture and store the traffic based on your criteria. We can also emulate different types of protocols that traverse these networks. So emulation is another big seller for us. Okay, today's topic is on voice quality testing. So voice quality, having adequate voice quality is essential. It's essential for pretty much everybody. For instance, we're talking to you right now, and it's very important that you can actually understand what we're saying, that the audio is coming in clear, and there's no dropouts, there's no noise or static or anything like that. So for us, it's very important that our voices are being transmitted to you clearly. You can think about mission critical networks, emergency services, military, police, fire department. They all need to be able to communicate to each other with pretty much crystal clear voice quality, because literally lives are on the line. Businesses need proper voice quality when talking to, when having internal conversations, when talking to customers, and so forth. And also for personal communications. Obviously, when you talk to your friends, your relatives, no matter what network you're using, you need good voice quality. So voice traffic is carried on all major networks, mobile phone networks, voice over new radio, 5G, voice over LTE, 4G, 3G, 2G, and voice over Wi-Fi. So voice traffic is carried over all these mobile phone networks. It's also, of course, carried over mobile radio networks. So you can think about push-to-talk radios and so forth. So voice traffic is everywhere, right? And oftentimes this voice traffic is traversing multiple networks to get from location A to location B. It may be going over many different types of networks and constantly being translated between different protocols as it reaches the destination. A lot can go wrong along the way. These networks can get overloaded. There can be interference with other networks, with other communications traffic, electromagnetic interference. You can have just simply malfunctioning infrastructure. Also, a lot of different problems can occur on these networks, and they will all impact that user experience and the resulting voice quality. So we have to be able to constantly test these networks for voice quality, for delay as well. Delay is very important for a lot of different applications. You don't want a large delay. So we need to be able to test these networks in a lot of different situations. We need to test them continuously. We may need to test these networks after there's been some sort of cutover or infrastructure change or software upgrades in the field and so forth. All the infrastructure is constantly being upgraded, swapped, and so forth. So you want a way to systematically measure voice quality across these networks. You probably want to do it in an automated fashion. You can imagine running hundreds or thousands of voice quality tests in a day, in a month, in a year, and you don't want to have to manually click start and stop and so forth. You want to be able to do these things in an automated fashion. So automation is critical. Depending on your application, you may need a very portable solution. You may need to go out into the field, multiple different sites. You may need to be doing testing on the go while you're driving to assess coverage in a whole geographic region. While you're driving, while you're walking, while you're flying, portability is very important. Or you may need a rack mount type solution if you think that you're going to be mainly testing from a network room. So portability is important to consider. Okay, so I hope that this kind of motivates the conversation and emphasizes the importance of voice quality testing and voice quality testing in a systematic way. So today's webinar, we're going to talk about our latest offering in our voice quality testing product line, and specifically we'll be talking about the vMobile. We'll actually touch briefly on all of our different hardware platforms. As you know, we have many different hardware platforms for testing voice quality, so we'll talk about all of those. We'll talk about the applications and how you do the audio analysis. We'll talk about mobile phone testing and mobile radio testing, both of them. We'll talk about how it's done using the vMobile. And then we'll talk about how you can configure remotely and operate the vMobile. It's very easy to use both on site and remotely. We'll talk about how we can get accurate measurements using GPS, or how we can also get very accurate measurements when we're indoors where there may not be GPS. And we'll show a very convenient, easy to use web-based dashboard where you can see all of the results from not just one vMobile, but multiple vMobiles and multiple different hardware equipment. It all kind of comes together nicely with our WebViewer solution. So with that being said, I will go ahead and turn it over to Rob, and he will tell you about our vMobile.
All right, thank you, Vikram. So what you're seeing on the screen right now is the vMobile hardware. It is a hand portable solution. So you can walk around with it. You can put it in your pocket. You can put it in a little backpack, which I'll show a little bit later. It's great for drive testing, for walk testing, for any type of mobile type of testing. It could also be used in a lab because it has full features, full functionality, and there's nothing really limited by this small package. So on the vMobile, it has multiple interfaces. First, it has Wi-Fi, so you can connect to the internet. You can tether to another device, connect to the internet, and then control the vMobile, or send all the results and so forth back to a central location, which I'll show you in a little while. So Wi-Fi is on board. It's got GPS on board. So while you're doing your drive test or walk test, you are stamping all the results, all the events with GPS coordinates where you can then plot them in Google Maps. You can also use the GPS for clocking, for very accurate clock syncing, for one-way delay measurements or such, or syncing two sides of the call. It has Bluetooth on board. Actually, it has different types of Bluetooth. So it has Bluetooth on board so you could communicate and control the vMobile from another device using an app on an iPhone or an Android, whether it's a phone or a tablet. But it also has Bluetooth so you can connect your phones for performing voice quality testing. It has two of those Bluetooth chips on board, so you can connect two phones at the same time, control the phone, place call, answer call, while also sending voice during the established call for voice quality measurements. So one way of testing is testing mobile phones. Another thing it has on the bottom where you see the right there, yeah, it's got a PTT interface, so push to talk. That's 4-wire analog. So now I can plug this directly into a radio. We'll make a special cable from this RJ45 to your radio, and now you can control the radio, enable PTT, disable PTT, and then send audio and receive audio for testing radios on the go, drive testing, walk testing, what have you. So great radio tester. Now it's 4-wire analog, so we can connect to anything. You can connect this also to a phone using the wired headset on a phone. And then we can control the phone through the wired cable. You can connect it as just a 4-wire headset to anything. So it's 4-wire headset with PTT. It's got a monitor port on the bottom. So here you can plug in a headset. And using the vMobile, you control what you want to listen to in the left ear and the right ear, whether it's send or receive on the first Bluetooth module or the second Bluetooth module. So you can monitor the audio as it's being sent or received. It's also got a USB-C port on the bottom. That's for charging the battery. So it's got an internal battery. So it's very easy to perform your tests, no cables. You can also use that USB to offload the files. So let's say you don't have Wi-Fi and you don't have a network connection. When you get back to your lab, you can plug this into a PC and download all of your recorded voice files. So no network being needed if that's the case. And it's also got the ability to plug in an external GPS. So that's just an external antenna, which we provide. So it's got an internal GPS antenna, but if you're in a vehicle or in a train or something like that, you may want to plug the external GPS antenna, and then you'll have a little bit better coverage. So, so this is the vMobile. Now, another thing it has is we're putting on a high precision clock oscillator. What that allows you to do is we can sync clock to either GPS or over the Wi-Fi network. And once our clock is synced, if you go indoors, so out of GPS, out of Wi-Fi, let's say, then we can maintain clock accuracy to within 40 milliseconds a day, or around a second every 2 weeks. So it's very, very accurate clock, and we use this to sync the two ends of the call. So if you have two ends of the call and they're geographically separated, we can make sure that the two clocks are synced, and then run the scripts, the automated scripts based on time, and everything would run in a synchronous manner. That's the vMobile. Now I'm just going to touch base, as Vikram mentioned also, I'm just going to touch base on some of the other products we have. So the vMobile is the portable solution. We also have the vQuad with dual UTA. So that is somewhat portable. It's a small box that can plug directly into a PC, a Windows PC, and give you two devices, so two Bluetooth, or we also have other devices like 2-wire analog, the PTT, 4-wire analog, and handset interface for connecting to a phone at the curly cord. So all those devices are available. There's a side 1 and a side 2. We can plug GPS in here. So pretty much everything that the vMobile has, this is a little bit bigger, plugs into a PC. The one great thing about this is I could plug 6 of these dual UTAs into the same PC to give 12 devices from one vQuad system. And then we have other platforms. So that is the dual UTA being plugged directly to a PC via USB cable. We have the vQuad Probe, which is an all-in-one package having the vQuad or the dual UTA hardware above, and then actually a small Windows PC below, all in a small package. It's great to put in a lab. It's like a black box. Nobody will ever touch it. You can still plug in more dual UTAs into the same box using these USB interfaces. And then we have a rack mount. So this is a 1U rack mount. It's very nicely oriented. The dual UTAs fit right in there. We can put 3 dual UTAs in there. The PC is on the back. If you need 6 dual UTAs, we actually put 2 of these 1U racks together. One of them has a PC. The other one doesn't need the PC. So it's still only one vQuad software running it. So that's just another nice little platform that we have for running the vQuad. Now, what's nice about all this, they all work together. So the 2 ends of the call could be vMobile, or they could be vQuad, or they could be vMobile and vQuad. All this works together when you're running a test. Doesn't matter. So that's what's nice. Everything works together, and then all the results go back to the same area, the same algorithms for analyzing the audio, and the same database with the web browser to look up your results and generate reports and things like that. As I said, vMobile, very portable. You could put it on a plane. You could put it in a drone. It's very lightweight. So we've had requests about putting it there for doing low altitude testing and so forth. On a train, I've actually done this. I put it on a train going from DC to New York on an Amtrak. Worked great. The only thing I had to do is I took the GPS antenna, taped it to the window, and we were running voice quality tests between 2 phones, no problems. The bus, the car, in a backpack, all this is great. Anything you can think of where you're going to be in a mobile situation, walking or driving, it's very easy. Just, we can give you a little tiny backpack. You throw it in the backpack, go into your vehicle, and you're ready to go. Very easy to set up. You set it up either through the vMobile. So you'll see on the vMobile, it has buttons and a little screen. So you can start your tests and select your scripts and so forth right from there. Or I'll show you how you can do all that directly from a web browser or an app. So this is how you do control of the vMobile. So you can have multiple vMobiles, many vMobiles, and you can control these either through a web browser, what we call our console. So the console connects to the vMobile over Wi-Fi, or actually the vMobile connects to the console, and the console could then control the vMobile, configure the vMobile, set up a script, run the script, perform calibration tests. All these different things can be done from the console, as well as writing scripts. So writing and editing scripts and pushing them back up to the vMobile, pushing new audio files up to the vMobile for using within a test. All that can be done right from the console. And the console can see all the vMobiles at once. Look at the status. Is the vMobile actually connected to the network? Is the vMobile in a test? Are the phones connected via Bluetooth? All of that can be seen at the console. We also have an app. So we have an app that sits on Android or iOS, and everything I just mentioned from the console, I can do the same thing from the app. So sitting with the app, again, connected over Wi-Fi or over the internet, you can look at all your vMobiles, look at the status, configure the vMobile, run a test. The other thing you can also do is download log files. So set up log files, download them, and take a look and see what's going on in the vMobile after some long tests. So all that can be done directly from the app as well. However, the app also has another feature that you can connect directly to the vMobile via Bluetooth. So this is for control, basically configuration and operation. So rather than going over the Wi-Fi network, you're going to be a direct connection, so it's instantaneous. So when you say run a test, it's instant. When you say let's perform a manual call, place call, answer call, send voice, it's instantaneous. Turn PTT on or off, it's instantaneous. So if you're within range for Bluetooth, you can run all these tests directly from the app over a Bluetooth connection. So a lot of ways to actually control the vMobile, either directly from the vMobile screen or from Wi-Fi using the console or the console app, or Bluetooth using the console app. So very versatile, very flexible. So let's get into what we're going to do with this. Okay, so again, we can connect mobile phones, we can connect radios or any 4-wire analog. So first, let's look at mobile phones. So I'm going to connect some mobile phones to the vMobile. I can connect 2 mobile phones at the same time because I have 2 Bluetooth radios in here. I can, now those 2 mobile phones can make calls between them, or they can be completely independent. So there's nothing saying that side 1 or Bluetooth 1 has to talk to Bluetooth 2. They can be completely separate, running completely separate scripts. Very, very flexible. So you can have the vMobile sitting in your vehicle, connected to 2 phones, and they're calling phones from another vMobile or a vQuad sitting somewhere else in a lab or another vehicle or whatever. Very flexible in that manner. Now, when you connect the mobile device, we can connect to any mobile phone, any network, any carrier. Let me say that again. Any mobile phone, any network, any carrier. Doesn't matter, 2G, 3G, 4G, voice over LTE, 5G, voice over NR, doesn't matter. We connect to any of these devices, we control the device, and we send and receive audio that can test the network's quality, as well as the quality going through the mobile device. So now one other thing I did want to mention as well, because this comes up a lot. Let's say I want to test mobile phone to PSTN. Not a problem. Okay, we don't have to go mobile to mobile. So one end will be the mobile phone on the vMobile, for instance, and the other end will be 2-wire PSTN off of our vQuad. So mobile to 2-wire, mobile to VoIP SIP, mobile to whatever, doesn't matter, we can support it. So now we've got the mobile phones here. What we can do through the vMobile, we have an automated script that will automatically place call, confirm that the call is up. And if you're receiving a call, it'll tell you there's an incoming call. You'll detect the ring, and you'll be able to answer the call and determine if the call is up. If the call fails, we can generate an error. So now you've got the call pass fail statistics. Once the call is up, if the call happens to drop, we can generate an error, call dropped. So that's adding to your statistics. And then when a call drops, you can reload the call, replace the call, or stop the script. Up to you. The scripts are fully up to the user how they want to do it. So now the call is up. What are you going to do? Well, we can keep the call up for as long as you want. We have pause timers. You can pause for X seconds or pause until a certain time. But the other thing we can do is we can send and receive audio. So send audio from one end, receive audio from the other end, or record audio. The recorded audio can then be analyzed. And I'll show you some of the analytical metrics in a minute, but it can be analyzed for a bunch of different things like signal and noise level, audio dropout, frequency, power, delay, and voice quality. So all that can be done. The other thing you can do when the call is up, send DTMF. So if you have to traverse an IVR, or if you have to or you want to just send DTMF to confirm audio path, that can all be done. And we can confirm audio path as well. So we can detect energy, and if audio path is not there, we can generate an error. All these different things can be set up within the vMobile script, as it can also be set up in the vQuad script. Now, you also see here that I got some watches here. Just added this actually the other day because we were able to successfully connect to a watch as well. So we are a Bluetooth headset to a watch, and then we can control the watch to place a call, answer a call, and then send and receive audio. So you know, a lot of these watches are now connect through cellular, and they're LTE or maybe even 5G, and we can now connect directly to a watch or a phone or a tablet or anything that has the ability to connect to the network and make and receive calls. Okay. The other thing we can also do is over-the-top applications like Skype, WhatsApp, things like that. So we can also connect to those and test those applications for voice quality as well. One other thing, when you're connected to Bluetooth, we can send any Bluetooth commands and receive responses. So send a command to get the signal strength or RSSI, send a command to get the network information, send a command to get battery information. Anything, any AT command or Bluetooth command you want to send, we can add that to the script. You add it right to your script. It's not like an update to code or anything else. It's directly within the script, and then that can be part of your operation, and you can then get responses from those commands. So then we've got the, so I talked a lot about the Bluetooth connection, but we also have the ability to connect a radio. So you're either going to be in Bluetooth mode or radio mode, or PTT mode, I should say. So when you're in PTT mode, you can connect any radio. Any radio. We've never had an issue. And we've connected military radio, emergency radios, emergency service radios, commercial radios, never had an issue. Once we figure out the wiring, and sometimes it does require us to reverse engineer a cable, but once we figure it out, we can connect. And then we are controlling the radio, meaning we are enabling and disabling PTT, and then we're sending audio and recording audio and performing all the same tests that we did with that I mentioned with the Bluetooth. So everything that was mentioned there, the ability to confirm that the talk path is there, the ability to perform all these different types of audio tests, all that is available using the PTT interface as well. As seen here, we can also connect as a wired headset to a mobile phone, if desired, or connect as any headset to any device, any 4-wire headset to any device. So that's also available. That is basically vMobile testing all different types of wireless networks, phones, radios, any type of headset, all these different types of networks we can test and perform this directly from the vMobile using an automated script. We also have manual operations on the vMobile. Basically manually place a call and then send the record voice, or manually enable or disable PTT and then send the record voice. All that is available with the vMobile. So now you've got these recorded files. And these recorded files, as I said, are automatically passed to the essential system where we have analytical measurements running on that central system. If the files are not passed, for instance, if you don't have Wi-Fi, the files are retained on the vMobile. Big question I get asked: how many files can be saved to the vMobile before you have to connect it back to the network? Easily over 2 weeks of files. Okay, the files are very small. The audio files are very small, and we do have a lot of space available on the SSD drive on the vMobile. So you can have more than 2 weeks of data. So if you're out in the field for 2 weeks and you're running tests and you have no way to offload the files, no problems. But like I said, you can offload them once you have your Wi-Fi connection, or if you simply connect the vMobile to a PC via the USB interface. So, so now let's talk about some of the algorithms. So the voice analysis tool. What this tool does is all of the algorithms that are that come standard on a vQuad software, because vQuad is running on a Windows PC, we put into a small package we call the VAT that sits on a central system. So it takes an audio file and it can analyze that audio file and give you results for different types of algorithms, such as single level, noise level, audio dropout analysis. That means I'm going to take a recorded file, analyze it against a sent file, and determine how much of the audio was dropped when doing this comparison. Was 80% of the audio available, or 90%, or only 10%? So this will give you an idea of why your voice quality may have been low. We can also determine frequency, so frequency analysis. That's important if you're on, for instance, a wideband network and you're expecting audio that's in the 7,500 hertz range. If somewhere in the network it went narrowband and back to wideband, you're going to stay at narrowband, and that algorithm will then show you that metric will show you that no, your audio is actually not at 7,500, it's at 3,500. That's why your voice quality may be low. It'll do a power analysis. It'll give you speech activity. And also it can also run the measurements for the voice quality. So it can connect to our voice quality software to run those measurements. So you can basically have a recorded file and run a series of different measurements on that single file, and all those results will then go into a central database. So the voice quality software, we've had that in our possession for well over 20 years now, where we can take two files, a reference or the file that you're sending through the network, and a degraded or the recorded file at the other end of the network, analyze the recorded file against the reference, and generate a voice quality mean opinion score. At this point, we're using the POLQA algorithm, which is the latest algorithm. That's ITU 863. We can also, if needed, license the voice quality software with PESQ. That's the previous algorithm, ITU 862. So you can run tests using the PESQ or the POLQA algorithm. We provide proper files. They're preloaded on the vMobile as well as the vQuad. We provide male and female files in a variety of different languages. If you want to use your own files, that's fine as well. We just recommend that you let us have a look at them, because the POLQA algorithm is very specific on what type of file it'll use for analysis. If it's the wrong type of file, you're not going to get a proper result. Any type of file, and also narrowband, wideband, super wideband, we support all of that. And the results not only include the MOS, like the POLQA MOS, but it'll also include signal and noise level and jitter. This is a fully automated software, so it's basically looking at a directory, and as files appear in that directory, it'll grab them, analyze them, and then send the results to the database. You can also run the tests in a manual mode. So now the other thing we have is, for radio specifically, is the ability to provide a DAQ score, a DAQ score. So this is derived from PESQ, and we do have that ability to take the PESQ, create the DAQ score, and then send that directly to the central database as well for analysis. So the other thing I mentioned is delay. And the VAT software can also support delay measurements. So that means one-way delay or round-trip delay. So one-way delay meaning I'm going to send audio from the near side of the call, and at the same time, the far side is going to record audio. Then we're going to analyze the recorded against the send and provide a proper delay measurement to within a millisecond or less than a millisecond. This works great when the two sides of the call are on the same vMobile. It uses the internal clock. If they're on separate systems, meaning they're geographically separated, then we use GPS at both ends for accurate timing. Round trip delay, basically one end of the call is going to send and receive, and the other end is going to loop the audio. So this does not need GPS at all, even if the two sides are geographically separated. So both of these different types of tests can be set up within the VAT software for analyzing the voice file. So you can analyze for delay as well as all those other algorithms that I mentioned previously. Now, the other option we have here is we have an application called GL Test. And this includes an app that can sit on any Android or iOS device. And what this does is this allows for data testing of that device. For instance, if it sits on your phone, you can run over the internet connection, whether it's Wi-Fi or cellular or what have you. You can run a TCP speed test, a UDP capacity test, a VoIP test, an HTTP test, FTP, DNS, a video simulation test. All these different types of data tests can be run directly from your device over the using this NetTest app. So what we have done here in the vMobile and the vQuad is the ability to automatically run those tests from within the vMobile script. So you're running the vMobile script, and then you can have a command to run a net test or data test from one of the devices. It could be the device that's running the voice quality, or it could be any other device that's connected. So data testing and voice testing from mobile devices. So vMobile control and operation, as I mentioned, very simple. Very simple to do, either from the console app, or through the Bluetooth connection of the console app. So on the left-hand side, you'll see the console. It's just a web browser. You're seeing all the vMobile units there. And on the right-hand side, you're seeing the app. Okay, what you're going to see on your phone or on a tablet. So we connected installed this on Android tablets as well as the Apple iPad. So you're going to see all your different vMobile devices, and you can then select the device and control that device, meaning configure and operation, start a test, things like that. And this is showing you the status. So you can see, again, you can see all the status. The vMobile is constantly sending status back to the console and updating the console every couple of seconds. So the console is seeing real-time status. If, for instance, the connection drops at any point, the console will inform the user that the connection is no longer there. And this was the last time we had a connection. But it will let you know not only if a test is being run, but if the vMobile is connected to the network, if the vMobile is connected to the console or to the central system, what the battery level is, what the current software is, the software version, all that stuff can be seen in the status. From the console or the console app, you can also upgrade the vMobile. So when an upgrade is available, you grab it from our website, you copy it to your console, or you can just leave it on your PC. And then from the console or the console app, you can upgrade your single vMobile or multiple vMobiles in just a click. Okay, very, very simple. And in fact, the vMobile, if for whatever, whatever happens during the upload of the installation to the vMobile, if something goes wrong, the vMobile will know this and it'll abort the installation. So it has a fail-safe to confirm that the installation is proper. If not, it'll fail and abort the installation and inform you didn't work, try it again, or make sure you have the proper installation file. So here you're actually configuring the vMobile. You can configure the side 1 and side 2 for Bluetooth or just the PTT interface. So you're configuring, you can things like pair and connect your Bluetooth phones, connect to your Wi-Fi network, select which Wi-Fi network you want to connect to, set up your GPS antenna, whether it's internal or external, set up your sampling rate, whether it's narrowband, wideband, or super wideband, name your vMobile, name your devices, set up your network connections. Everything you can imagine can be done directly from the console or a console app. And then again, operation, controlling the vMobile for running a test, selecting a script. You can even put variables into the script. So the script says dial 555-1212. Well, no, my phone is 555-1213. Okay, well, instead of rewriting the script, I could put a variable directly into the console or console app, and then start the script, and the script will use your variable instead of what was put into the script itself. So very easy operation. It'll let you know the script is running, and it'll give you status of what's going on. The call is connected. There's audio being sent. There's audio being received. All that could be shown in the status while the script is running. And this is showing you script editor. Again, edit, create any script you want. It's all point and click. If you're familiar with the vQuad, we've done the same thing with the vMobile. So it's a point and click thing where you've got a bunch of commands. You select a command, and on the screen it'll show you your options you have. You can select the options, and then that command will be in the script. The scripts are very small. They're small text files. You can see them in Notepad, and then you can upload it directly to your vMobile. You can download a script from one vMobile, upload it to another vMobile. You can download a script from one vMobile, change some of the information, and then upload it to another vMobile, whatever you want to do. Very, very flexible. So that's vMobile automated testing. Very flexible scripts, conditional statements, wait for the incoming call, wait for the call connected, wait for audio to be detected, wait for digits to be detected, wait for pretty much anything. If audio was detected, if the call was connected, if then, do loops, do for 10 times, nested do loops, do the outer loop 10 times, do the inner loop 3 times. All the different conditional statements, all the different types of commands, and we keep adding to it. So we keep updating. It's a very dynamic software, so we keep updating things. So very, very flexible. Connect phones, watches, radios, all these different things can be connected and running these tests, while also pointing out that the vQuad can be interlaced with this entire testing solution. So drive testing, drive and walk testing, that's what we were here for. That was the basically the name of this webinar, drive and walk testing. So so let me show you on the next couple of slides how we did this, because we just recently did some drive testing and some walk testing using the vMobile. So you can see we have the phones with the vMobile in a vehicle. Now you can see that it looks like they're on the dash. They weren't on a dash. They were in a bag. They were in a bag in the back seat. We started the test using the console app, and we just drove, never having to look at the vMobile, never having to look at the phones. Test just runs. Okay, and so the driver is not doesn't have to look at the devices or push buttons or do anything. The driver can just maintain control of the vehicle and you know, and don't worry about the test being run. Now, what's cool about it also is, for instance, I did some drive tests over the summer, and as I was doing the drive test, I had Tin in my office. He was watching the drive test in real time in Google Maps. So he was seeing as I was driving where I was and how the test was running, if the phones were connecting and things like that, while also letting me know it looks like you're in a traffic jam because you're not moving anymore. Yep, I'm in a traffic jam. Cars are all stopped, so all the tests are being done at one location for the next 5 minutes or so. So really nice. You don't need to touch the unit once you start to test. Same thing on the right hand side, walk testing. I had a backpack on me, and I had the vMobile, a couple of phones in there. Put the backpack on, and I walked the boardwalk of New Jersey, Ocean City, and did a walk test from one end of the boardwalk to the other. So here's some of those tests. Next couple of slides will show some of these tests that we did. So on the left-hand side, this was actually a test of the Washington Beltway. So we started at our office up top, and we drove clockwise around the Washington Beltway. And as we did, we've got all these results. On the left-hand side, you'll be able to see the legend, POLQA, the POLQA pass and fail results. So that correlates with the different colors. You can zoom in on this. This is all using our web viewer, our web browser. So all the results are in a database, and you can now view these results and bring up this Google Maps. You can then click on any point and bring up a more descriptive understanding of that particular point, what the POLQA score was, what time it was, things like that. So you can give a little bit more information about each individual point directly from the map. On the right-hand side, there's something else I didn't yet discuss, and that is indoor tracking. So let's say you don't have GPS. Let's say you're indoors and you're in a subway or you're in a train station or inside of a building or whatever it is. Inside, there's no GPS. Well, we have a solution for that. It's called our ITS. And what that allows you to do is that allows you to walk the area, and at every so often you'll see a specific point, a column, a wall, the end of a hallway, a station, whatever it is, the end of a stairwell, whatever it is, you'll see something, and at that point you'll hit next on your vMobile or on your console app, and this will all be pre-planned, pre-configured, and you're the one who configures it. You can configure it. We can help, obviously. You can configure it so it's not something that has to come from the factory. You can configure it, and you set it up so that as you're walking, you hit your next button, next, next, next. And then when you look at the results, we're going to plot all of those voice quality results in between each of those points to show you from point 1, which is in the on the right-hand side of that graph, middle right-hand side of that graph. So point 1 goes up to point 2 and over to 3 and so forth. That was the walk, and all the points in between are your voice quality measurements. So a great way to test inside when there's no GPS available, yet you can still plot your results. This is some results from the WebViewer. We can create custom reports, bar graphs, line graphs. So that's a line graph of POLQA measurements over time. We can do any, one-way delay over time, single level over time, or different types of bar graphs. All can be created within the custom reports. And I believe this is the last. So this is actually our drive test going from our office out to Ocean City, New Jersey. So driving up I-95 and then down. Once we reached near Philadelphia, we went down to the through Jersey into the ocean, near the ocean. And this was the drive test of the results. And then the bottom is my walk test. So this is from one end of the boardwalk to the other as I walked the boardwalk, and the vMobile was running. So again, automated testing, all the results plotted on Google Maps, and then also you can generate custom reports with the average POLQA or your min-max POLQA results, things like that. All that is available with this solution.
I do want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you, Rob, for giving that great explanation of vMobile. If you have any questions at all, you can email us at info@gl.com. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our newsletter. And the link is right here. You can also get a link to it from our homepage, gl.com. But we do want to say thank you to everybody for attending the webinar.
If you want to discuss any of your requirements, specific requirements, just let us know, and we'll be glad to hop on a call, give you a demo of how the solution might work, because all solutions are a little bit different the way it's set up. So we can definitely work out creating a specific solution for your requirements.
Okay, thank you everybody for attending, and have a great rest of your day or evening, depending on where you're joining from, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you all.